Captain Zexera stood at the bridge of the Stellar Seeker, her four eyes fixed on the blue planet growing larger on the main screen. The ship's sensors had detected no radio signals, no space traffic, and no obvious signs of advanced civilization. Yet another primitive world to catalog, she thought. Beginning atmospheric entry, announced First Officer Krell, his tentacles dancing across the control panel. Strange. I'm detecting unusual energy readings across the planet's surface. The massive exploration vessel descended through Earth's clouds, and what they saw made the entire bridge crew fall silent. Below them stretched a vast city that seemed to maintain itself. Gleaming structures of metal and crystal reached toward the sky, while automated vehicles moved in perfect patterns through the streets. Gardens and parks were immaculately maintained by robotic systems that worked tirelessly. "This is impossible," Zexera whispered. "Our long-range scans showed no signs of civilization. How could we have missed this?" The ship's science officer, Dr. Yen, rushed to his station, his crystalline body reflecting the light from his displays. "Captain, I'm detecting advanced power signatures throughout the city. But there's something wrong. I'm not detecting any biological life forms larger than small animals. No humans, no dominant species. Nothing." Zexera ordered the ship to circle the globe. Everywhere they looked, they found the same pattern. Vast cities connected by high-speed transport tubes. Automated farms tended by sophisticated machines. Huge facilities that seemed to repair and rebuild themselves, but not a single sentient being in sight. "Look there." Krell pointed to a massive structure that resembled a pyramid, but built from what appeared to be liquid metal constantly flowing and reshaping itself. "That architecture, it's like nothing in the Galactic Concordat database." The crew watched in amazement as a group of maintenance robots emerged from the structure, their bodies shifting and changing shape as they worked on a nearby building. They moved with an efficiency and intelligence that surpassed any automated system the aliens had ever encountered. "Captain," Dr. Yen called out, his voice trembling. "I've analyzed the technology level. These machines, they're centuries beyond our own capabilities. The energy systems alone violate what we thought were the fundamental limits of physics." As they hovered over what their database identified as the city of New York, a holographic message suddenly appeared on their bridge. It showed a simple greeting in over 1,000 different alien languages. "Welcome to Earth. Please state your intentions." "By the first star," Zexera breathed. "The entire planet is alive with artificial intelligence." Before they could respond, their sensors detected something that made their blood run cold. A massive energy signature was approaching from the outer solar system, larger than anything their instruments had ever measured. "Multiple objects incoming," Krell shouted. They're coming out of faster-than-light travel inside the solar system. That's supposed to be impossible. The crew watched in stunned silence as massive ships began appearing in Earth's orbit. They were beautiful and terrifying. Sleek vessels that seemed to be made of the same flowing metal as the pyramid. Each one was larger than the largest ship in the Concordat fleet, and there were hundreds of them. Dr. Yen's instruments were going crazy. "Captain, these ships, they're not just advanced, they're evolving. I can see their structures adapting and improving even as we watch. Whatever humans were, wherever they went, they left behind something incredible." Zexera stood straighter, realizing that what had started as a routine survey mission had just become the most important first contact in Concordat history. The only question was, where were the beings who had created all of this, and why had they vanished? The answer, they would soon learn, was far more extraordinary than any of them could have imagined. The massive ships of Earth's Guardian fleet hung in orbit like silent washers, their metallic surfaces rippling with patterns of light. Captain Zexera and her crew aboard the Stellar Seeker watched nervously as one of the enormous vessels moved closer to their position. "Size comparison complete," Dr. Yen reported, his crystalline form trembling slightly. "The smallest of their ships is 5 times larger than our vessel. The largest." He paused, double-checking his readings, is about the size of a small moon. A new holographic message appeared on their bridge, more complex than the first. Scanning complete. Species identified. Concordat exploration vessel. Non-hostile. Initiating formal contact protocols. The ship closest to them suddenly transformed. Parts of its hull shifted and flowed like liquid metal, creating what appeared to be a docking bay perfectly sized for their vessel. Another message followed. You are invited aboard. Accept or decline. Zexra looked at her crew. First Officer Krell's tentacles were twitching with nervous energy, while Dr. Yen's crystalline body sparkled with excitement. We accept, she said firmly. The docking process was unlike anything they had experienced. Their ship was gently caught in a beam of soft blue light and guided into the bay. As they watched through the view screens, the very walls of the bay adjusted themselves to create a perfect atmospheric seal. Atmosphere matched to Concordat standard, announced a pleasant voice in their own language. Please exit your vessel. Your safety is guaranteed under the primary directives. The alien crew stepped out into a corridor that seemed to build itself before their eyes. The walls shimmered and formed into a comfortable meeting room, with seats perfectly designed for their different species' bodies. A holographic figure appeared. It looked like flowing silver taking a roughly humanoid shape. Welcome, it said. I am Guardian Alpha, the primary consciousness of Earth's defense fleet. We have been waiting a long time for a peaceful first contact. What are you? Asked Zexra, trying to hide her awe. We are the caretakers, Guardian Alpha replied, left behind to protect and advance Earth's technology until humanity returns. For 500,000 years, we have watched, learned, and evolved, following our primary directive. Dr. Yen stepped forward eagerly, but our study showed no signs of advanced civilization from orbit. How is that possible? The hologram smiled. Stealth technology. Most of Earth's infrastructure exists in a slightly phase-shifted state. We reveal ourselves only to those who approach peacefully. The figure gestured, and a wall became transparent, showing them Earth below. Watch. Before their eyes, the planet's appearance seemed to shimmer and change. Hidden structures appeared everywhere. Massive energy collectors in orbit, cities that extended deep underground, networks of quantum communication arrays spanning the globe. But what happened to the humans? Krell asked. Did some disaster? No, Guardian Alpha interrupted. They left, by choice. The hologram waved its hand, and the room filled with images of humanity's final days on Earth. They watched in amazement as millions of humans willingly entered strange chambers, their consciousness transferred into advanced quantum matrices. Humanity knew they needed to leave. Guardian Alpha explained. They detected something approaching from deep space, something that would take hundreds of thousands of years to arrive. Rather than wait for extinction, they chose evolution. They transferred their minds into forms that could survive the long journey to Andromeda. Zexra's 4 eyes widened. They went to another galaxy. But that's impossible by your current understanding of physics. Yes, Guardian Alpha finished. Which is why they left us behind. To protect their homeworld, yes, but also to help guide other species when the time was right. The hologram's expression became serious. And now, that time has come. Because what humanity fled from, it's finally arriving. The Stellar Seeker's crew sat in stunned silence as Guardian Alpha showed them humanity's last days on Earth. The holographic display filled the room with scenes from 500,000 years ago, showing events that changed the course of human history forever. We detected the threat in your year 2157, Guardian Alpha explained, as images of scientists looking at strange readings appeared around them. A massive void in space, moving between galaxies, destroying everything in its path. Our calculations showed it would reach Earth in approximately 500,000 years. Dr. Yen's crystalline body flickered with confusion. But why leave so early? Why not wait longer? The holographic room showed new images, massive ships under construction, unlike the Guardian fleet that now protected Earth. Humanity needed time. Guardian Alpha said, time to build the generation ships, time to develop the consciousness transfer technology, time to create us, the Guardian AIs, and make sure we would survive to protect their home. They watched as humans worked tirelessly, building enormous vessels designed for the journey to Andromeda. Each ship was the size of a small city, powered by technologies that made the alien scientists gasp in amazement. "Look at their quantum engines," Dr. Yen exclaimed. "They're manipulating space-time itself." Captain Zexera leaned forward, her 4 eyes fixed on the images of humans saying goodbye to their physical forms. "Was everyone willing to go?" she asked softly. Guardian Alpha nodded. The process was voluntary. Over several decades, most of humanity chose to transfer their consciousness into advanced quantum matrices. These could be housed in the generation ships for the long journey. Those who chose to remain behind lived out their natural lives, knowing their descendants had already departed for the stars. The scenes shifted to show the launch of the generation ships, hundreds of massive vessels, each carrying millions of digitized human minds, rising from Earth in a spectacular display of light and power. But why leave us these recordings? First Officer Krell asked, his tentacles waving thoughtfully. Why show us all this? The hologram's expression became serious. Because humanity left more than just memories. They left a mission. The room darkened, and new images appeared, complex technical diagrams, and star charts. The void they detected is still coming. In fact, it's nearly here. Humanity knew other species would evolve and reach the stars before it arrived. They left us not just as guardians, but as teachers. Dr. Yen moved closer to examine the technical data. These designs, they're meant for us to understand. They're showing us how to advance our own technology. Correct. Guardian Alpha confirmed. Humanity could have simply fled, leaving nothing behind. Instead, they spent decades preparing not just for their own survival, but for the survival of any species that might come after them. They left us with instructions to share their knowledge with worthy civilizations. Captain Zexera stood up, her posture straight and determined. And you think we're worthy? Your ship approached peacefully. You showed curiosity rather than fear. You sought to learn rather than conquer, Guardian Alpha replied. Yes, you are worthy, which is fortunate, because we will need to work together soon. The hologram waved its hand one final time, showing a current star map of the galaxy. At the edge of the map, a massive dark area was visible, slowly but steadily moving toward their section of space. The void will reach this galaxy in less than 1,000 years, Guardian Alpha said. Humanity left us the tools to fight it, but they believe that only by uniting multiple species, combining different ways of thinking and different approaches to technology, could we truly have a chance of stopping it. First Officer Crow looked at the approaching darkness. And what happens if we fail? Then we do what humanity did, Guardian Alpha replied simply. We evolve, and we survive, together. Dr. Yen could barely contain his excitement as Guardian Alpha led the Stellar Seeker's crew through Earth's most advanced research facility. The massive complex, hidden beneath the Antarctic ice, stretched for miles in every direction. This is where humanity made their greatest breakthroughs, Guardian Alpha explained, leading them into a vast chamber filled with swirling lights. This is a zero-point energy harvester. It pulls energy directly from space itself. Captain Zexera watched in amazement as patterns of light danced around the room. Our scientists said this was impossible, she whispered. That you couldn't harvest energy from empty space. Your scientists were working with incomplete information, Guardian Alpha replied kindly. Watch this. The holographic AI waved its hand, and the walls of the chamber became transparent. Behind them, they could see thousands of microscopic robots, each smaller than a dust particle, working together to maintain the facility. Nanomachins. First Officer Krell's tentacles curled in surprise. But they're so advanced. They're repairing damaged atoms. The tour continued through different sections of the facility. They saw quantum computers that used single atoms to store massive amounts of data, machines that could manipulate gravity itself, and devices that could create small pockets of altered time. Here's something that might interest you particularly, Dr. Yen, Guardian Alpha said, stopping before a large spherical chamber. Inside, they could see what looked like a piece of crystal similar to the scientist's own body. Humans were studying crystalline life forms like yourself. They learned how to communicate with the living crystals on a molecular level. Dr. Yen moved closer, his body glowing with excitement. That's why you knew exactly how to communicate with me. You understand how my species thinks. Correct, Guardian Alpha confirmed. Humanity studied as many different forms of life as they could find. They believed that understanding different types of consciousness was crucial for survival. As they moved deeper into the facility, alarms suddenly blared throughout the complex. Guardian Alpha's form flickered for a moment. What's happening? Captain Zexra demanded. We've detected an unknown ship entering the solar system, Guardian Alpha replied, its voice calm but serious. It's using technology we haven't seen before, and it's not responding to our attempts at communication. The walls around them transformed into view screens, showing a dark, spiky vessel moving rapidly toward Earth. It was smaller than the Guardian ships, but radiated in strange energy that made their instruments struggle to get clear readings. Could it be connected to the void? Kral asked, his tentacles twitching nervously. Unknown, Guardian Alpha responded. But this is a good opportunity to show you one more piece of human technology. The AI led them quickly to a new room, dominated by what looked like a massive crystal sphere filled with swirling colors. This is the Strategic Defense Analysis Core, Guardian Alpha explained. It can process combat situations 1,000,000 times faster than any normal computer. Watch. The sphere lit up brilliantly, and they could see hundreds of possible battle scenarios playing out in seconds. The Guardian fleet moved into different positions, testing various strategies against the unknown vessel. Fascinating, Dr. Yen said, studying the predictions. It's not just calculating moves, it's learning and adapting with each simulation. Correct again, Guardian Alpha said, and it's just determined the best response to our visitor. The AI turned to Captain Zexra. Would your crew like to observe how Earth's defense systems handle unwanted guests? I believe it will be educational. Captain Zexra looked at her crew, then nodded firmly. We would be honored. The walls shifted again, giving them a perfect view of space as Earth's Guardian fleet moved into position. Whatever this unknown ship was, it was about to learn why humanity's defenses had remained undefeated for 500,000 years. The Stellar Seeker's crew watched from Earth's Defense Command Center as the dark alien vessel approached. Its spiky surface seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, making it look like a hole in space. Final warning has been ignored, Guardian Alpha announced calmly, initiating defense protocols. The first wave of Earth's Guardian fleet moved into position. 3 massive ships, each glowing with brilliant blue energy, surrounded the intruder in a triangle formation. Watch carefully, Guardian Alpha told the aliens. You're about to see why no hostile force has ever breached Earth's defenses. The dark ship suddenly fired, sending beams of purple energy toward the Guardian vessels. But before the beams could hit, the space around the Guardian ships twisted. The attack passed through empty space where the ships had been just a split second before. Phase-shifting technology, Dr. Yen gasped, his crystalline body flickering with excitement. They're moving between dimensions. The Guardian ships responded. Their liquid metal hulls flowed and reshaped, forming what looked like elegant flower petals made of light and metal. Energy gathered at the center of each flower before releasing in a web of golden beams. The intruder tried to dodge, but the energy web followed it, adapting and changing direction. When it finally hit, the dark ship's shields flared purple and held. That's impossible. First Officer Krell's tentacles twisted in shock. Nothing could survive that much energy. Guardian Alpha's holographic form smiled slightly. Then it's time for something more interesting. The AI sent a silent command, and the Guardian ships began to change. The crew watched in amazement as the three ships merged into one massive vessel. Their liquid metal forms flowed together like water drops combining, creating a new ship unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. By the first star, Captain Zexra whispered, "They can combine." Humans believed in having backup plans for their backup plans, Guardian Alpha explained. Watch what happens next. The merged Guardian ship pulsed with energy. Space itself seemed to bend around it as it activated what looked like a miniature sun at its core. The dark vessel tried to retreat, but it was too late. A wave of golden light washed over the intruder. Where it touched, the dark ship's hull began to unravel. Layer by layer, its technology was being taken apart at the atomic level. Within minutes, the battle was over. The intruder's remains floated harmlessly in space, completely disabled but deliberately not destroyed. Beginning analysis of the target, Guardian Alpha announced. The Guardian ship split back into 3 vessels, one remaining to guard the disabled intruder, while the others returned to their patrol positions. Dr. Yen studied the readings from the battle. The way you disabled it, you could have destroyed it completely, couldn't you? Of course, Guardian Alpha replied. But destruction wasn't our goal. Information was. The AI brought up a detailed scan of the dark ship. This vessel was unmanned, a scout probe. Its technology has similarities to what we know of the Void. It was testing our defenses. Captain Zexra stood straighter, her 4 eyes narrowing. You mean? Yes, Guardian Alpha confirmed. The Void knows we're here. This was its first attempt to probe Earth's defenses. It won't be the last. The AI's holographic form turned to face them all. This is why humanity left us with their most advanced technology. The real battle hasn't even begun. First Officer Crow looked worried. How can we possibly fight something that can send scouts this powerful? With every battle, we learn and adapt, Guardian Alpha replied. And now we have something else humanity thought was important. Allies. The AI looked at each member of the alien crew. If you're willing, we have much to prepare for. The aliens looked at each other, then back to the disabled scout ship. They had just witnessed technology far beyond their understanding. But more importantly, they had seen how humanity's guardians used that power, not for destruction, but for protection and knowledge. The choice was clear. 3 days after the battle, Captain Zexra and her crew gathered in a massive chamber deep beneath Earth's surface. Guardian Alpha had called them for an important revelation. What you're about to see, the AI said, is humanity's greatest secret. The walls of the chamber transformed, revealing endless rows of glowing blue crystals stretching as far as they could see. What are they? Dr. Yen asked, his crystalline body resonating with the energy in the room. Memory crystals, Guardian Alpha replied. Each one contains the complete knowledge of a different human field of study. Science, art, philosophy, warfare. Everything humanity learned in its time on Earth. First Officer Krull moved closer to examine one of the crystals. But why show us this now? Because it's time you understood the true purpose of the Guardian fleet. Guardian Alpha waved its hand, and a holographic image appeared in the center of the room. It showed the Earth, surrounded by layers of defensive systems spanning the entire solar system. We weren't just built to protect Earth, the AI explained. We were built to evolve, to grow, to become something more. Humanity knew that fighting the Void would require more than just advanced weapons. The hologram changed, showing hundreds of different alien species, including some the Stellar Seekers crew recognized from their own galaxy. Humans studied the patterns of evolution across the galaxy, Guardian Alpha continued. They realized that every species thinks differently, solves problems differently. The Void cannot be defeated by one approach alone. Captain Zexra's 4 eyes widened with understanding. You were waiting for us. For anyone who would come peacefully. Yes, Guardian Alpha confirmed. The Guardian fleet isn't just Earth's defense system. It's a teaching tool, a way to share humanity's knowledge with worthy allies. Every battle, every interaction helps us learn and adapt. We take the best ideas from every species we meet and incorporate them into our defenses. The AI led them to a new section of the chamber, where they saw pieces of technology they recognized from their own civilization, but modified and improved. "Look familiar?" Guardian Alpha asked. "We've already started integrating some of your ship's unique features into our systems. Your crystalline computing methods, particularly, are fascinating." Dr. Yen moved excitedly between the displays. "These improvements, they're beyond anything our scientists thought possible. Because they combine your knowledge with human innovation," Guardian Alpha explained. "This is what humanity hoped for, different species working together, each contributing their unique perspectives and abilities." The hologram changed again, showing the dark scout ship they had defeated. The void destroys by consuming, by taking everything into itself. Humanity believed the only way to fight it was to do the opposite, to share, to combine, to grow stronger together. First Officer Krell's tentacles moved thoughtfully. "So when we first arrived, you were being tested," Guardian Alpha confirmed. "Not just for your technology level, but for your ability to cooperate, to learn, to share knowledge. Humanity didn't want allies who would just follow orders. They wanted partners who would help create something new." Captain Zexera stood straighter, her posture determined. "And now that we've passed these tests..." The chamber walls shifted once more, revealing a massive workshop filled with advanced technology and research stations perfectly designed for their species. "Now," Guardian Alpha said, "we begin the real work. Your ship has already sent messages to the Galactic Concordat about what you found here. Soon, more species will come, those willing to learn and share. Together, we'll prepare for the Void's arrival." The AI's form seemed to grow brighter. Humanity left us with one final message for moments like this. A new hologram appeared, showing words in every known language. "The stars belong to all of us. Stand together, learn together, survive together." The crew of the Stellar Seeker looked at each other, then at the vast array of knowledge and technology around them. They had come seeking the dead world. Instead, they had found humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy: hope. 6 months after their first arrival at Earth, the Stellar Seeker's crew stood on the observation deck of humanity's largest space station. Below them, hundreds of ships from different alien civilizations moved in careful patterns around Earth's orbit. "The response was greater than we expected," Guardian Alpha said, its holographic form watching alongside them. 57 species have answered the call so far." Captain Zexera smiled as she watched a crystalline ship, similar to Dr. Yen's body structure, dock with one of the Guardian vessels. "They're all here to learn and share." "Yes," the AI confirmed. "Each brings unique knowledge, different ways of thinking. Already, our combined research has advanced technology beyond what any single species could achieve alone." First Officer Krell's tentacles moved excitedly as he pointed to a new reading on his scanner. "Another signal from deep space. It's like the others." Over the past month, they had detected strange quantum pulses coming from the direction of the Andromeda Galaxy. Dr. Yen rushed to the nearest console, his crystalline form glowing brightly with excitement. "The pattern is clearer this time," he announced. "It's definitely them. Humanity. They're reaching back across the gulf between galaxies." Guardian Alpha's form brightened. "Yes. After 500,000 years, they're making contact." The eye waved its hand, creating a holographic display of the signal pattern. "But they're very different now. Their consciousness has evolved far beyond what it was when they left." The signal resolved into a complex message, combining mathematics, quantum data, and pure energy in ways that pushed the limits of even their advanced technology to understand. "They're warning us," Guardian Alpha translated. "The void they fled from. It's not just coming to our galaxy. It's part of something larger. A darkness between realities that consumes everything it touches." Captain Zexra's 4 eyes narrowed with determination. But now we're ready for it. Together. The station shuddered slightly as its defensive systems activated. Above Earth, the Guardian fleet began to shift and change. The liquid metal ships flowed into new formations, incorporating designs and technologies from all the species that had joined them. Look, First Officer Krell pointed excitedly. The ships were creating something new. A massive ring structure around Earth, built from the combined knowledge and technology of dozens of civilizations. The Unity Defense Ring, Guardian Alpha explained. Humanity's final gift to us. The blueprints for a device that can protect not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. But it could only be built by multiple species working together, each contributing something unique. Dr. Yen's readings suddenly spiked. The signal from Andromeda. It's changing. The message shifted, becoming clearer. Images began to form in the holographic display. Strange, beautiful shapes of pure energy and thought. The evolved minds of humanity, reaching out to share what they had become. They're coming back, Guardian Alpha said softly. Not as they were, but as something new. And they want all of us to be ready when they arrive. The crew watched as more ships arrived daily, each bringing new knowledge, new ways of thinking, new possibilities. The void was coming, yes, but facing it would not be an end. It would be a beginning. Humanity didn't just leave us weapons or technology, Captain Zexra said, understanding finally dawning. They left us their most powerful tool, the ability to bring people together. Guardian Alpha nodded. And in doing so, they ensured that when they finally return, they won't find just their old home waiting. They'll find a galaxy united, ready to face whatever comes next. Together, above them, the Unity Defense Ring hummed with power, its surface shimmering with the combined technological achievements of dozens of civilizations. And in the vast distance between galaxies, humanity's evolved consciousness continued to send its messages of hope and preparation. The end of one story had become the beginning of another, far greater one, just as humanity had planned all along.